Don't you like Dire Straits?
No.
What do you listen to?
Drake or something?
It's now round 9 of the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship.
James Courtney, now he bumped Di Pasquale when he fired.
Ansel got taken out.
He pushes him off with it.
Dave Reynolds has not got all his fuel in that car.
Whose brightness was this a result of?
Barry won't be happy with that.
I'm glad I wasn't there because then I couldn't say anything wrong.
Yeah, the boys.
Bathurst is the grand final. I mean, it's a stop the nation day in Australian sport. There's nothing bigger in our game. And it comes from the history of the event and the tradition that it upholds. The very best drivers in the very best cars on the biggest stage. And Brock used to say great racetracks have got consequences, and wow, has this got some consequences. It's very, very hard to win, but very easy to lose.
This could be the biggest moment of Dave Reynolds' life. The biggest race in Australian motorsport. It's been an exquisite performance, a brilliant team effort.
Big Al, can you believe it or what? Can't believe it.
David Reynolds, you are the man. This young man has put up the David and Goliath trick, the most important win of his life. Wow.
It's just too much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 podium. And now for the celebrations.
Erebus had a fairy tale win in 2017, and it will long be one of the most popular victories amongst the fans.
Bathurst is one of those races where you have massive highs and massive lows, and I've had some success and I've had some failures.
There are a few more heartbreaking stories in supercars than Dave Reynolds' 2018. The car had all the pace.
He's the reigning Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 champion, and he's sensationally fast around this mountain. Crosses the line fastest, and it's done a flat 4. That is unbelievable.
They had qualifying speed, they had pole position.
David Reynolds has pole at Mount Panorama. Benny Clemenco cannot believe it. The team can't believe it.
They were leading the race for the majority of it.
What a beautiful start by David Reynolds, able to get the car away. That's the most difficult start of the year. Oh, he's got a problem. He's got a problem under brakes.
Mate, I've got the world's biggest cramp in my leg in my life.
See, I don't reckon he's thinking properly. No, I don't think he's well.
I think overall, Scapey, I think he's just fatigued. Everything is spasming.
I just can't believe it.
And then for Dave to suffer those cramps and have to be pulled out of the car, it ruined their strategy, it ruined the end of the race. So for that to happen when it did, it left them absolutely shattered, and it cost them back-to-back Bathursts.
So here we are at Hammers Gym in Nunawading, Melbourne. To do some Muay Thai training because it's really good fitness. I love that sport. I love the aspect of, the fitness side, the technique, and there's so much to learn and to listen about, so yeah. It's completely different to motor racing, which I really enjoy. It's another hand-eye coordination sport, so you know the reaction time. You got to move to instead of getting punched in the face. It teaches a lot of discipline about yourself, respecting others. Obviously, what happened at Bathurst last year was a huge stuff-up, or f***up, I suppose we could call it f***up because it was. So yeah, I need to sort of prepare myself for the week of, the media onslaught that it's going to happen. The race itself is difficult enough, but I can get through it most of the time. It's all the other stuff that you sort of have to train for, mainly. Talking to people and wearing yourself out before you get to the track. It started in about 2015, and just really enjoy it. And yeah, it's good release from racing. I used to do a lot at the start, like 15, 16, 17, did a lot, and then haven't done a lot the last 2 years. I've been a bit slack. The fitness side alone, there's a lot to this sport that people don't see.
There's never been a more important Bathurst Test day than this one without a Sandown 500, right? Not only have you got to test car, machinery, people, pit stop equipment, a lot of it is about drivers, driver changes, driver ergonomics. All that detail has to be nailed on that day, because when you get up there to the mountain, you've got to get on with the case up there. That's what these test days are about.
It's the most important day for us because the next race is Bathurst. You want to have good confidence leaving this track. You want to have good pit stops. You know, I've got a new seat inserted to accommodate Luke, so we've tried to make it perfect for him, and now it's not so perfect for me. So the problem is, I've got today. I can't pour a seat, so I have to cut and chip away from what that seat is there, and I need to do it ASAP because I don't want to get to Bathurst and go, oh, this seat's shit, I'm not going to last the distance. I couldn't go through what happened last year again. That'd be
It's the first time we've actually had a proper, not a proper schedule, but like for us,
yeah,
there's always a rough time that we're going to go in, but as a co-driver, typically on a test day,
you get 2 laps.
You stand around. Oh, Lukey, put your helmet on, go. You know what I mean? Like,
good thing about these guys is you just come in, make a change, go back out, so we'll probably get 20 laps, something like that, where that's pretty good for a co-driver.
Done 2 test days if you count the Phillip Island test day at the start of the year.
Well, so we've done an hour this year.
First we do a couple of hours of testing, and the rest of it's all procedure stuff for Bathurst, pit stops and all our procedures, driver changes, everything, so we don't make mistakes when we get to Bathurst. So we're 100% ready. From 8:30 to 11 we're doing our main drivers some proper testing, and then 11 to 12 co-drivers, so laps and getting them up to speed, making sure that everything they're doing in the car is right. And then in the afternoon we'll do pit stops all afternoon. So it'll be as soon as we've got everything right, we'll probably, I reckon, be up 3 hours with pit stop stuff. So brake changes, driver changes, fuel stops. We've lost 2 or 3 races this year, or potential podiums, from pit stops. So now we have to make sure today is perfect. Okay, let's do it.
Making seat inserts is the way I sort of attack the pedals and that, it's all a bit wrong. But it's not wrong, it's just not what I'm used to.
Well, we're actually pretty good. We're probably be done by Friday with the cars. We'll have a good pack of the truck by Monday, yeah, but there's only a couple of little boxes we need to tick today to improve what we've done today, but not much. We're pretty much ready to, we can start the race tomorrow and be right.
The reason why I drive, what I love to do is I love to drive to Albury, stay with my family because they're from Albury, hang out with my family for a night, and then do the rest, which is like 5 hours from Albury to Bathurst, so it breaks up the trip. And I love the alone time because it's a pretty hectic week, so this is probably one of the only times I'm going to be alone for the whole week, because you'll be with people the whole week. I think it's kind of important to have time by yourself to, you know, reflect and think about the weekend, really. And on the drive up, you think about what it means to you, what it means to win, what it means to you if you were to lose and you drive home Monday morning and feel sorry for yourself. So when you first arrive in Bathurst for the first time of the year, you get like the feeling back of, you know, it's Bathurst time, it's a big race, heaps of people, awesome track. You know, it takes a lot of energy this week out of you, but you know, look forward to the challenge, big team event, long race, hang out with my mate Luke. Yeah, it's the best week ever. You get all the good memories that you had here, all the bad memories at once. It's just got this electric sort of aura about the track, and you know, seeing the sign brings that back. People say, do you get really excited about driving the track and the race and stuff? And I'm like, oh, not really. I'm kind of more nervous than I'm excited, because I'm nervous of everything that's going to happen, or you know, I'm nervous about the result because we put so much pressure on ourselves to perform this weekend. It's, you know, your whole year can be defined by one weekend, and that's this race. If you were to come 20th in championship, which is terrible, but you win this race, probably best year of your life. So, you know, I'm more nervous about that stuff, but excited to drive the track and feel the car and make it faster.
I've been away so much this year trying to get my, get my pilot's licence done. I didn't think I'd have it done in time for Bathurst, and I was lucky enough to get the licence in time. So it's pretty cool to, get to fly to my second Bathurst ever. And by the time, for me, from Toowoomba, you drive an hour and a half to Brisbane, you wait, and then you fly an hour to Sydney and then drive 3 hours out. It's about an eight-hour round trip. It takes about 2.5 hours. Yeah, it's a pretty nerve-wracking week. There's so much riding on, and there's such little, things that can happen to ruin your week. I'm pumped to get there and nervous at the same time. But, the way it's all worked out this year with, Scott sort of run away with the championship. There's not really anyone in line, to go for the championship. So there's a lot of guys that are just, they'll risk it to try and win.
Toowoomba traffic, Cherokee Echo Delta Bravo, rolling runway 29. Latches, harnesses, and we're good to go. We're off. Oh baby. Toowoomba traffic, Cherokee Echo Delta Bravo, departed overhead the field, on climb to 8,500, Toowoomba traffic. It's pretty cool to finally have it. I didn't think I'd, probably have my licence in time for this. I've been doing it for about 8 months, but with being away with racing so much, it's hard to get the time to do it. It's one of those things, like I say, the mountain, you can have the fastest car here and you never know what's going to happen. Like Dave Reynolds says, it chooses who it wants to win, and that's nearly true. You never know what's going to happen up here or what sort of luck. It doesn't matter how fast you go. It's one of those races that, you can't win without the fastest car. Bathurst traffic, Cherokee Echo Delta Bravo, established on a 3-mile final for runway 35 for a full stop Bathurst traffic. It's pretty surreal, to be racing the 1000 and fly here is, it's pretty awesome, and especially quite young, so really, privileged and very grateful for all the opportunities. Betty and Daniel, Barry, Ryan, all those guys from Penrite to give me the opportunity, a second year going, and Anton, 2 young guys. It's been fantastic.
What do I need? Frozen stuff. I'm just trying to find like bananas and coconut water and stuff to make the smoothie, and I might get a little trolley. This is going to go real bad.
With Bathurst, I take it?
Yeah. 15 years I've been here, I think.
Oh my gosh,
Not lived here, but...
No, it had come for the race?
Yeah.
Which was your favourite one? Have you got a...
Probably 2017.
Why?
Because we won it then.
It's Scott McLaughlin, isn't it? No.
That's
so
like
close.
That's like swearing to me. That's like swearing to me.
But he shops here as well, so
Does he? I love it.
Do. See you later.
See you later.
Hey, how you going?
So far, so good. I think that will get Phil off to a start. Hopefully everyone will eat it. But yeah, once you meet Phil, you'll understand. It's good flow, apparently, in this. Good energy. Hey! Merry Christmas.
We've already done our track walk, so...
We're probably just going to drive her.
Pretty cool, yeah. I think it depends how you do it.
You just roll out of it, don't you? Don't end up here.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, I said that. It's deep, eh? Has to slow the car down. Give us a gun.
Yeah.
There we are. Oh, look at this. This is the best one ever.
Hey, you just walked on sacred ground.
Will, now kiss it. Get down on your knees and kiss it. Get down on your knees and kiss it. You're still standing on it.
Oh,
don't stand on it. I'll do it.
Is that someone you know? Is this
Yeah.
Did he do this race?
He's done it before, yeah.
Well done. All the best.
Thanks, love. everything's going according to plan as it should be. It was a really good story, little team, smallest team in pit lane, winning the biggest race of the year, so I was out telling my story about how good it was and forgot about trying to win the race that, 2018. But this year's different because no one wants to talk to a loser. It's perfect. Every time I turn up here, I get a lot of confidence. Like, it's one of the tracks where, I don't know, I just love being at. Anytime I love being at somewhere, I tend to perform better. Always feel good about coming back to Bathurst. It's our favourite race of the year. Motorsport is just full of highs and full of lows, so it's just another part of the roller coaster that I've joined for another 10 years.
Welcome, another Bathurst, another Wednesday night dinner, which is a tradition, and last year we didn't do it, so we all know what happened when we didn't do the tradition. Got a long, hard weekend in front of us, but as we always do, we're a family. We tell each other everything. We don't need to yell, we don't need to scream, we need to look at each other and wink. I don't know what the weekend holds, but I know by the end of the weekend we'll still all be smiling, come what may, we always do, but hopefully we'll be smiling for a very good reason. And that reason I can take home in my car with me. And I'm not talking about Dave. All right, thank you everyone, eat, and then we'll have cake, and then I'll kick you all out.
Good morning, everybody. What a glorious day at Mount Panorama. Another huge instalment, the 2019 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000, and this is practice number 1. The first of 6 practice sessions this weekend.
Guess how old his tyres are? They are 150 k's old. They've done about 12 heat cycles. They are the warm-up tyres, and he's doing a 6.4. So I think we're in for some fairly hefty pace here early in the weekend. Very exciting.
Just finish the session, Al. I mean, pull it.
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think we've learned what we need to learn for the session. All good, mate. Park in the garage. Hold on out.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's heaps better than 12 months ago, but yeah, it's just awesome to come back here. The cars feel good. We're in a good window, so it's all good. It's having fun.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, cheers.
Good one, Junior.
Even with 7 hours prescribed practice at Bathurst, every single minute of that is so critically important, especially for the co-drivers. One little error, one little mistake, and it can throw out your entire preparation for the great race on Sunday. So for the co-drivers this year, having it the first race that they get to be in is huge pressure, and they really need to get their act together pretty quickly.
60 minutes this session, practice number 2.
This is like the most nerve-wracking session for a team owner ever. He's on a lap. He just started a lap, didn't he?
Oh, that's trouble. Trouble for Penrite, and big damage on that car. It's Luke Youlden, red flag.
That is big.
Big damage on that car, all down the right-hand side.
And that's gone in heavily. That will have a lot of damage.
You okay in there? Sorry, I'm expecting so much longer into this. All good, mate. We'll get it fixed up and we'll get it sorted.
That's a sad sight, unfortunately, for Luke Youlden. It just puts a chink in the armour, doesn't it? That means they're in for a late night.
Seeing the car hit the wall, it is pretty shit, and I just straight away started going to clear the garage, get the car back. So you know you got a long road ahead here to get it fixed.
The next practice session for tomorrow is at 8:25 tomorrow morning.
You said too much understeer. That's not too much understeer, that's a up.
It's probably the most high-risk spot on the racetrack, and the minimal, slightest mistake has huge consequences.
And this is a big setback for Erebus.
It's fast. We need it ready by Sunday morning. That's it. We're not working all night to fix the car. He went in at 45 degrees at 200 kilometres an hour. It's bad.
Look here. Oh, Ace, you alright? Yeah. Sorry, mate. It sucks, doesn't it? It's just a terrible feeling.
Sorry, man. Alright.
way worse than that.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make it once I got to the grate. He just went light. I was like,
beans! That's what you think.
I feel it coming like seconds and seconds before it happens. But it probably happens like that, but you feel it coming for ages.
Right.
Shit.
Worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Your heart sinks, eh?
Yeah.
And then it's all stopped and you're like, I can't believe that just happened. Fuck, bro.
He's coming. They'll walk of shame, eh?
Yeah, I know.
You could see just how disappointed Luke was. As soon as he got out of the car, he parked himself at the back of the garage. He was absolutely shattered and just didn't say a word.
The guys have had a chance to completely strip it down, assess everything that's wrong with it, but this unfortunately is a little bit bigger than we had hoped.
So of course when that car was pulled in the garage, we were there having a look at it straight away. We try and make our own assessment, is this repairable? And I've got to say, it was marginal. But when you look around the people in the room, there was no question. We hook in and we get it done.
My first thought is that we should fix it slowly over 2 days. So then we might miss some practice, but everyone will be fresh for the race.
Got to replace some bits in the rear bird cage, the transaxle and whatnot. This is going to be our biggest time constraint. We've got to replace the sheet metal. There's also some tube work that leads up to the shocker tower that also needs replacing. The guys here are going to give it an absolute ripper of a night and hope to God that it works.
And then at about 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, I said to Daz, nah, this, we're going to build the car. So the deal is, the car, we're going to have it finished by the 11 o'clock session, whatever it is, tomorrow morning. Me, Dan, Jono, Damo, Dave. No one else is staying, so everyone as per we planned.
All the teams up and down here, even Ford teams, have come and helped and given us stuff and everything else. Tickford and Shell have been the main ones, but I was really humbled by the experience today. I actually had a tear in my eye.
Really? Hey, Betty.
Yes.
Are you guys going to get the car fixed?
Of course we are. We're Erebus. Okay, good night, guys. Good night. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want the hug. I want the hug.
Yeah, you've had too much fun today.
So proud of you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Very proud of you all. I have no doubt in my mind that these boys can pull off the impossible. Tell you what, they're a great bunch of guys. Don't ever say I told you.
You know what the funny thing is? The other thing I'm
If I had nothing.
I don't know. We rolled out with a rocket.
We did roll out with a rocket.
I just hope we haven't lost it.
Oy vey. Oh.
So think about this. Bathurst, to us, it's our grand final. Whether it is or not, everyone puts a massive emphasis on. So imagine it's your boardroom meeting for the biggest thing you're going to do with your business. And the night before you have it, and the night before that, you have all your board members stay up and work all through the night, and then you want them to turn up and perform. That's tough. That's really tough.
I brought you dinner.
Yeah, so we started the night thinking we'd be able to achieve maybe 11 o'clock today, and now it's 5 a.m. We started the engine, it all runs fine, chassis looks nice and straight, panels are all on the car, just pretty much needs a bit of a once over, bleed the brakes and do a setup. So I think we'll actually be out for the co-driver session at 8:25, so it's pretty impressive work by the boys. When you got the right people behind you, you can do anything. So, you know, we've got the right people here to do it, and everybody can go and have a shower and tidy up a bit and start the day. I don't think many of us are getting too much sleep, so.
So they worked through the night and they got it done. Now that's probably the biggest repair, certainly the biggest one I've ever seen Erebus do at a circuit. And they got to bounce back the next day and get on with the job. What a great effort.
It's amazing, eh? What Jimmy can do.
Yeah. It's mid. That should be fine. That's to replace tubes, front and rear that's a big rebuild. That's going to the next level, get it done within the time frame they did. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm massively proud. It was pretty impressive watching everyone chip in last night. They've done an amazing job. She's brand new.
Boys are legends, eh?
Very
Like you.
I think these guys need a coffee down here at the moment. They have pulled some big all-nighters. Some of them are just going back for a shower, coming straight back, ready for a big day of working on 12 hours a day.
Sure, it's all right.
I'm sure you're going to get out. How's Lukey?
Yeah, he's all right. His confidence might be a little bit low, but he just needs to get back in and forget it ever happened.
This is the back on the horse moment here for Luke Youlden. This car tortured at the end of practice yesterday. Back on the flatbed truck, worked through until 5 and 6 o'clock this morning. They fired it up at 5 a.m. An extraordinary effort by the team. Luke's just got to fall back into that groove.
Okay, mate. Cold warm-up tyres. Just go for a couple of laps here just to beat everything in, make sure it's all good.
Bad, the boys just saying surprised you didn't do an install lap and come in and just check everything, if it's that something done.
We're professionals.
Yeah.
If we have to do an install lap, we may as well race something else. Seriously.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Grouse? No dramas. Everything feels dry straight. So good. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
I did battle a little bit mentally going into it. What am I going to do? I can't be too slow and I can't be too aggressive there either. So I just build up to it.
It was a really nice job, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Qualifying at Bathurst, the biggest qualifying session of the year without a doubt. It's all about getting into the shootout.
3, 2, 1. Good thing
We've got wet weather to deal with now. And when you add water to this racetrack, the complexity goes up through the roof. Reynolds, who's been the fastest man for the last 3 years in a row in the race. Reynolds down in 22nd, he'll be gutted with that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And De Pasquale squeaks in at the checkered flag. De Pasquale 10.
Nice job, mate. We're in the 10. Good job, mate. We'll go through. That's a relief. Same as last year, same position. Let's do it.
What was going wrong, but I was scared. So gutted, man. Like, everyone works so hard. I would have loved to make the shootout because I swear I could be in the top, on the front row for sure.
As Dave said, it's a mid-3 car. It's one of the fastest cars in the dry. Like, I'm not panicking. We can do it from there.
I'll just have to be a bit risque passing people, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Anton De Pasquale, you snuck in right there. You came in P10. You must be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it's awesome to make my second shootout. We snuck in just last year and we got in today, so really looking forward to taking into the shootout again. Had a good time last year and it's sort of the coolest session of the year, so it's good to be in it.
the top 10 shootout for tomorrow, which as always will be a nail-biter.
As soon as Park Fermo's over, these garage doors are going down and we're going home, and we're going to dinner and we're going home. That's no exception. That's what we're doing.
So this is my, every year I go up to the top of the mountain, which I'm headed up there now.
Yeah.
And I always wear a tutu for the last 7 years.
All right, head to the top of the mountain. Good to see you, Betty.
One of my favourite parts of the weekend is to go up to the top of the mountain. It started because I had this spare tutu at home and I brought it the first time I was here, and we just won the 12-hour. So in the GTs. So I called myself the Queen of the Mountain. They are brilliant up there. It is the most amazing place. If you can get up there and just talk to the people, it is one of the best times of my life. I always say I'm going up for an hour, come back at least 2 to 3 hours later. Oh, they look good. They look great. It's that feeling of just serenity because you're on the mountain and everyone's the same. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, a judge, you can be anyone, be the same when you're at Bathurst. And I love that.
Had a big day though, together.
I had to do that, I'm sorry. You just look too comfortable. Okay, I don't know. Anton's got a good chance, Dave's got a good chance. It all depends on the weather. But somewhere deep down in my shoes, like at the bottom of my shoes, there's this little bit of me that wants McLaughlin to win. So he gets it out of his system, he goes to America, he goes to NASCAR, he leaves us alone, and then we can get back to racing. Can I get a single choc top? Thank you. I'm in heaven.
Well, I don't think there's anything in our sport that's like the top 10 shootout at Bathurst. It's emotional, it's anxious, it's a time when you're a real pioneer. It's a time when you have to be brave and committed like no other. You arrive at 200k corners and you don't know how much grip you've got, and you don't know whether you're going to make it around. It's high risk, massive reward. It's about intimidation.
For those that love motorsport, they live for this session. It's a rush for speed this afternoon to try and earn the Armour All pole position. This is the Armour All Top 10 Shootout. Right now, it's all about Penrite Racing and this youngster. He is only 23 years of age and he drives like a little demon. But he's got this Commodore on fire over the top.
That's not bad.
Commits to the throttle, flat out through the chase. This is about maximising all performance for a lap. Final corner, car 99, Penrite Racing, Anton De Pasquale. Up comes the number. It's a 2-minute 4.3. A very nice opening account in these conditions.
Now we don't have to stress. This would be a decent lap.
And now our final runner, the fastest driver yesterday is Scott McLaughlin.
What, massive run?
Is this good enough for pole? The answer is yes. He's done a blinding time. It's a 2-minute 3.3.
Thank you, guys.
The high stakes, the heritage, the heroes all radiate from Mount Panorama today on one of the biggest days in Australian sport. Thousands of fans have packed out the mountain. What will she deliver today? We're edging closer to lights out for the 2019 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000.
Hey.
Have a good one.
Thank you, mate.
Happy Bathurst Day, mate. Have a good one.
Yeah, mate. What's going on? All good?
Yeah, I just come to see you before now because I won't be able to see you before the race. So.
Yeah, pretty hectic.
Everyone's calling you boys the dark horses in this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Hopefully we provide the goods.
Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Thanks, man. It's pretty cool. You get sort of appreciation for how much everyone loves this race. Obviously, it's our favourite. It's the fans' favourite. It's a cool day. Look at this guy doing a striptease. You appreciate how much everyone puts into this race from the fans. They love it. They just come from everywhere.
The strategy today for Car 9, in that unique scenario where we've qualified further towards the back, so we don't necessarily have a position to protect. So the obvious option is to start Luke. All he has to do is hold position, and then Dave gets in his second stint amongst a whole heap of co-drivers.
Should you get Luke ready in case? He's going to be ready down there. All right.
We're going to deal with that risk versus reward situation, take both drivers suited up to the grid and make the decision when we're out there. So yeah, Car 99 conversely has a position to protect in 7th, so Anton will start the race. As we expect, anyone in front of us will start their main drivers. I think even the 888 cars, possibly CL and GT will start, but I think anyone forward of us will start their main drivers. We want to keep that spot and not risk it.
I always lean towards them, mate. Having control at the start with Dave, yeah.
There's no more congested grid than the pre-start at Bathurst. It's just off the scale. There are people everywhere. There's aeroplanes, helicopters, well-wishers, sponsors. Everybody wants to be there to see a car, touch a car, have a selfie. But here are our athletes on full display, publicly mingling minutes before our biggest game in town. Unheard of.
What do you think? I think you can pass a lot of these guys nice and early for us.
I think Bathurst race start comes from the aura and the expectation and the groundswell of support that Australians have for the event. There's an emotional attachment to what's going to play out that day, and no one knows what's going to play out.
I won't see you for the rest of the day. Probably won't. Good luck, legend.
Last chance. TD's getting in.
What do you reckon?
Just race like fuck, man.
So I'm in?
Yep.
3 minutes, mate. Have some fun.
David Reynolds, champion here a couple of years ago, and he's got great form. The last 3 years in a row, he's had the lap record.
I think that they need to apply some serious strategy today because they need clear air, and that car speed arguably will be one of the better Commodores.
It's a supreme test for team, machine and driver. The Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000, 59th running of the great race. The Battle of Bathurst ignites again. Beautiful start by McLaughlin. We've got Courtney, or Jack Perkins in that car. That was contact with Simona.
Great job, Josh. 19's already.
Good job.
So Reynolds marching up the field, started 22nd, brings him up. He sneaks by Jack Perkins into 17th position.
Love your work, Damien. Love your work.
Okay, this driver change is going to need to be a quick one, so make sure Bonnie gets out of there, okay? Pit this lap, pit this lap.
Need to be a fast driver change.
We've got Anton De Pasquale in 7th position. David Reynolds is in 16th position.
Driver change, driver change. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go. The door match on the inside, the red toggle just flew off. It's in the four-wheel combo. Stop it, mate, stop it, mate. Yeah, that's not a problem. We're just going to do it from the outside, not a stress. Press on. Yep, look for it in the pit stop. You don't want it to get caught and something.
While Bonnie's in there, she should try and find it so it doesn't get tangled in the pedals. You need to try and find that little red thing when you're in there. Try and grab it.
Okay, mate, push, push, push. In this lap, please. In this lap. For driver change, unplug your helmet and get ready. Okay, Anton. Driver change, driver change. Get out, get out.
What if it gets caught in the throttle pedal? You crash the car. Hey, did he get it? Yeah.
Very good, mate, very good. Keep putting pressure on him, keep putting pressure.
Now this is Will Brown. Does he get down here? Oh! No. That's an awkward delay that he didn't need.
You okay, mate? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm so sorry.
Just Just don't push him. Don't push him to pass anyone. Don't even mention passing people because he can't do it. No.
Big lock up. Whoa! Luke Guild locks the fronts.
All right, mate. Don't worry about that. Settle back into your rhythm now, please. Settle back into your rhythm.
All right, we're pitting this lap.
Okay, mate. You are staying in the car. 27 seconds stop. Tyres, fuel, and brakes.
The fuel was finished though before they got that wheel on.
Going to come out on track very close to the race leader. There, try and stay in front.
This is a whisker away from going one lap down. There's the race leader in the background.
Yeah, we put ourselves in a position to go a lap down. We haven't had one thing go right yet. No. Everything's been a up. Everything we've practiced has been a up.
When you get back in, you're just going to have to drive it like stole it. Otherwise, we're going to be a lap down.
Really?
Yeah.
Little moment down here. Oh, and lock up.
He's just gone off.
They're not having a good day at Erebus, are they?
Yeah. You're going to come out about 4 seconds in front of McLaughlin. You need to stay there if you can. Just do your best. That's all we can do. Getting out, mate. You're getting out of the car. Driver change.
And that's it's really the third time that we've seen troubles for him. He's back in the lane there, and now a driver change to get David back in the car.
Okay.
Just trying to protect from Hazelwood.
At the moment, we're just trying to stay on the lead lap.
Well, I've been watching you today. Would be fair to say you've had a frustrating day so far?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing. We were really well prepared for this, or we thought we were, but I think our day's over for a good result.
Thanks, mate.
No worries.
Car number 35 in the wall.
Reed Park.
Top of the hill.
Safety car, Dave. Safety car. Keep pushing for me. Keep pushing.
It's a good opportunity to get 6 spots here if we get the fuel on board.
Yeah.
And they wait for one more lap.
So we're back in this lap. We're back into T15. We've got fuel and on everyone in front of us.
Reynolds has played himself back into this race. He was more than a lap behind, and he's back in the race.
Great job, Davey.
The wiper dancing on that. He thought about it. Oh, man, he's had a big lock-up, and they have touched both. The Tickford cars have come together at the end of Conrod. A disaster.
Bushy, what do we do?
It's only 9.6.
Don't pit, don't pit. Just safe. Everybody's pitting, don't pit.
Feel safe.
Safe.
It's a lot of fuel. We're already P7.
Yeah.
Let's take it.
Set one.
Tyres and fuel, tyres and fuel. Set one and 10 seconds of fuel.
Okay, Dave, so tyres and fuel, and a 0.
Basically what we're doing is we're doing a little play here with fuel in hand, fuel in hand. A lot of the guys in front of us stayed out, so we've got an advantage here. If we can do a really good job in this next stint, we could jump all these cars. Good chance to bolt to the podium if we can clear a lot of this traffic quickly.
We've got 36 laps remaining, but this is going to be an absolute blinder to the finish. A Red Bull Holden leads the field from 2 Shell V-Power Mustangs. They've not had a good day at Penrite Racing.
Are you okay, mate? Are you okay? The fuck throttle. Throttle's on the floor.
It'll be that doorknob thing. No. More ups.
Too many, man.
Lap 128 into the wall at the top of the hill.
Someone's going down. It's not good enough. You don't leave shit like that loose. Yeah, only as he crashed, he said throttle jam. So, Yeah, fingers crossed he's all right.
And it's been a tough weekend for you guys. To see cars end up like this.
No, we're still in the shot though. Like, we did a good strategy call that last one, and Dave's got about 10 seconds more fuel in the tank than all those guys, so we can still get a podium, believe it or not.
32 laps remaining. Courtney and Reynolds, they're actually in it also based on their fuel position.
We've got nothing to lose by trying to stay out and see if we can jag a safety car or...
Indeed, there's more of the story to play because the internationals are in the sand trap. This is highly likely another safety car.
Okay, get ready. We're in. Tyres.
10, 11 seconds.
Set 9, and we're filling it. Fill it. Absolutely fill it.
Double stack is going to be an issue here for 17 and 12.
He's slowed, he's backed them all off. So he's parked up. Have a look at the gap now. Coulthard was right there.
I'm getting corners at the top of the hills or something. There must be a flow.
Should we stay out? Because we're going to get f***ed over.
What the f***?
Yeah, Fabian's breaking the rules again. And he's just buying himself a gap.
Far out, man. I nearly crashed into him badly.
That's ridiculous.
You've got to be careful playing that game because you can cop a penalty for that one if you back the field up.
Look at the gap now.
Stay as close as you can. Fabian will get a penalty. He'll get a penalty.
Are we staying out or?
No, I think we've got to do it. Cash it in because we'll get all of those guys now.
If you do that to the field, then you could end up with a pretty severe penalty if he is in fact backing them up.
F***ing dead. F***ing hell.
It may have now become a two-horse race because of what's happened with Coulthard. This is the battle for the victory in the 2019 race, right here.
Mate, it's people over. The team's done that. 17 should get penalty too.
They dropped simultaneously, and Wincup's got position.
Lights out on the safety car. Restart this lap. No more weaving. No more weaving.
So who's actually going to make it?
No one.
No.
Well, everyone's got
Unless it's
massive
a safety
concern.
I'll commit. I'll just go for it. Come in.
Pit this lap, mate. Pit this lap for fuel and front tyres. Pit this lap for fuel and front tyres.
One litre margin.
We've got a 1 litre margin.
1.6. It's enough.
Yep.
It's a 1% margin.
Just want this to go green and hope that some guys don't make it.
Exactly. Check that out.
Now, the first car that can definitely make it on our column 25 is David Reynolds.
Who has not had a fine week.
He's had a shocking day.
And that car has been off the road several times and it doesn't look like it's been particularly pretty to drive. And all of a sudden, he's potentially in the game. Now, it depends on whether or not you want to play.
Can you believe this game? This is what this race is all about.
Exactly. We were literally 4 seconds off being a lap down.
Yeah. I actually thought you were. Just giving up on you, mate.
At some points we were. You'd given up on us?
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
6 to go. It's been snatched. We've got Heimgartner in the fence.
Safety car.
This changes everything once again.
Literally haven't been able to take a trick all weekend, have we?
'26-year-old Kiwi Scott McLaughlin wins the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 of 2019.
We got somewhere.
Oh, no, go from 22nd to 5th with all the dramas. We should be very proud of ourselves.
It was a woeful display by us. No one should be proud of what we did today. No one should be proud.
I'm not proud.
It's pathetic.
Let's go down and have a look at the car.
Yeah.
I walked down the back of pit lane and it's a sad place. It's a sad place because at Bathurst every year there's one happy story, there's 24 sad ones.
Hey Al. Thanks for the day, I appreciate it. We tried. I don't know, those last 2 safety cars buffed us a bit, or definitely?
Well done, champ.
Hey?
Good race.
You reckon?
Yeah, all the best, well done.
No, thanks boys, appreciate it. Oh, that feels good. That was right in the end. Mate, are you okay?
Yeah. Find this big here.
You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Jam throttle.
Yeah. How's that happened? Turned in just 100% gas in the fence.
Would have been about 60 or something. This week is going to be a massive week. So what happened in that car is a bit of brake, a bit of the window net thing, whatever duct, fell into the pedal box, jammed in front of the throttle. That's all it was. This piece here. So.
Jesus Christ.
So we're starting work 7:30 on Tuesday and probably working the weekend to build a whole nother car because that car is fully.
And no one should be proud of today. It was really bad effort. Like, we made so many errors. Drivers, crew, everything. It's really bad. Don't deserve to be fifth. That thing zip tied on a car with Nitto tape underneath it. Race car. Woeful. If you got anything now, cancel it next weekend. There's no way. We're going to build a whole car and make sure car 9's all right. And pack a container by 8 o'clock Thursday morning. Safely drive home tomorrow, work Tuesday.
I often find myself springing to the defence of Barry because I genuinely like the guy and I have for a long time because he's a racer. So when you see Barry flying off the handle, it's not because he's a bad person, it's because he cares, it's because he's convicted, he's invested in it, and yeah, he comes down pretty hard on the team. But I understand the pressure that he's under. He's got the commercial pressure from his team owner and his sponsor on the other side, and then he's got a team of people that he has to lead. And by God, does he lead.
The Vodafone Gold Coast 600. He's turned him into the fence hugely.
We're taking everyone.
How can I take this?
Mega Drive,
It's a beautiful place. It's really, really cool, man.
Sandown 500 is very much part of our DNA.
And there's contact. Big contact.
How would Anton be up for a driving infringement there?
Go this way.
Oh, he's in! So bad